Well, listen. We saw the fight tonight. Pacquiao versus Bradley. I'm done. I'm done. I mean, that commentary was enough. I wanted to throw something at the screen. It was that bad. And what HBO tried to do today was just terrible. HBO Boxing is completely dead. It's dead. Without Terrence Crawford and Sergey Kovalev, it's just dead. I mean, that's it. It's completely done. From this day forward, I will not be watching HBO no more. I'm sorry to Terrence Crawford and some other fighters on. I can't listen to no more of that commentary. I'm done. If somebody want to send the fight on Facebook or some type of link, that's the only way I will watch it. I don't want HBO getting no credit from me from watching HBO Boxing. I want it to go down. I want Lampley fired. I want Max Kellerman fired. Everybody there should be fired. I think they just fired Ross today. I'm done with HBO completely. I scored the fight 113-113. That's with two knockdowns. One was a fake knockdown, the other one was real. And I scored the fight 113-113. Now, how somebody can have Manny Pacquiao dominating this fight is beyond me. But to listen to HBO's commentary, which was like having somebody just drill with no Novocaine straight to your wisdom tooth. It was that atrociously bad. I've never seen somebody just root completely for one fighter and totally, I mean, half of the time they weren't even talking about the fight. They're talking about Manny's injured shoulder, how he was poor, and how he had to come up from nothing. I mean, the introduction was nothing but a suck off. Everything was, oh my God, it was terrible. I felt like I was watching a Manny Pacquiao mini movie. That's how bad it was. It was completely, and everybody on Twitter seemed to have been saying the same things I was saying. Like, this is just ridiculous. Tim Bradley, you wouldn't even think he was a world class fighter the way they were talking. Every time he had success, Manny Pacquiao's shoulder. He's clearly not the same fighter he used to be. And just because Tim Bradley's having success, instead of saying, well, Tim is doing really good, it's, well, Pacquiao's arm is not the same. He used to be able to close, and he's shown that he's probably not, he can't close the way he used to. But what a career. What a fascinating career it's been. I'm about to throw up listening to all this Manny Pacquiao garbage that they were trying to feed the public today. I was sitting around about 70 Filipinos. They were in there rooting for Pacquiao. I was in there rooting for Bradley, and I was telling them nothing but the truth. That guy is a bum. They hated it, but they could have had to swallow it. Because if any of them would have touched me, I'd have knocked every last one of them out. Elect that bum to office. That's say to them. That's like us electing Donald Trump. So, I don't know. But Manny Pacquiao is garbage. He looked terrible tonight. Terrible. One good punch he landed, and that's supposed to omit all the rounds Tim Bradley has done. I'm just through. That fight was trash. Bradley's a C-rated fighter, period. He can't throw certain punches. He cuffs a lot of his punches. He doesn't use a lot of his legs. You knew that going in. He did the best of what he had, and he was still beating Manny Pacquiao. He was outworking Manny Pacquiao. He's doing work. Manny Pacquiao's not even throwing punches. It's such a joke how HB Old is sitting over there trying to still shove Roberto Duran down your throat. The movie Hands of Stone with Roberto Duran And here he is, Roberto Duran. I'm like, my gosh, I thought they were going to dig up Eddie Futch out of his grave. Digging him up. Oh, we're digging up Eddie Futch. We're going to see if we can get him to say something from the grave. And Cus D'Amato. We're going to dig him up too. Those were two great trainers. Wasn't they, Roy? Well, I never met any of them because I was probably a baby when they died. And Kellerman just proved he's just going to be a puppet all the way until the end. So they went from a 70% drop on HBO Boxing. Why no one's talking about that? You know the budget used to be $150 million. Their budget is down to like $30 million. How did they drop from 150 to $30 million? They can't even put Bud Crawford's fight on HBO. They're going to try to put his fight on pay-per-view because they don't have the money. They got the money. They don't want to spend it no more. Because they feel like we're not getting what we putting out here. We falsifying numbers and it still ain't working out for us. So HB old, still using the good old boy system. Want to control everything. Ken Hershman was with Showtime. Showtime had the greatest fights ever. The greatest cards ever. Showtime. That's why HBO went and got him. They say, well, you know what, Ross, you got to go. We finna get Ken Hershman over here. And Ken Hershman got over there, and what they do, they handcuffed him to a program he doesn't want to be accepted to. But he got to follow suit. You go to HBO, you can't do the same things you had that had a creative freedom you had at Showtime. No. Now you got to play the way they want you to play. They like, okay, that's great what you did at Showtime. He's like, yeah, I want to bring it over here to HBO. Well, not quite. Talk to Bernstein. Bernstein, we got an idea we want to run by you. We just want you to be the face. We're going to tell you what to do. We're going to tell you who we like, who we don't like, who we work with, and who we just don't want to work with. And they're like, look, we're trying to make the best fights. Yeah, we got to make the best fights. But with what we have, yeah, we got great fighters here. We need to put these guys on. And that's what happened. He had to work with what they gave him. He had to play the agenda game with HBO. They don't want anybody in there with their own individual mind. That's why Al Heyman couldn't be a part of HBO, because he's doing what's best for his fighters. And that's not in the business of HBO. HBO don't want people that comes in there and change the way they think and say, we want what's best for our fighters and you're individually thinking mine. They want you to think HBO is the only place I can go or I'll die. You need us, so work with us and do what we tell you to do. And you got to keep taking what we give you. That's why Lou DiBella, now HBO won't even give him a fight date. They're disgusted because he went to work with Al Heyman. And he's making way more money now. But when you had Lou DiBella, and DiBella was putting on fights, and he had Sergio Martinez, you treated him like dirt. Sergio Martinez couldn't be the A side in anything. He had to always fight who you guys made him fight. He couldn't get a showcase fight like you were getting all your other fighters. No. He couldn't get all that. You had to keep putting him in there in wars and wearing him out. Because you wanted to feed him to Chavez Jr. That's who you catered to. Chavez Jr. is going to be this big star. So where is it going now? HBO Boxing is disgusting. It is disgusting. I can't wait till they close the doors, and I'll be right there to say, I told you so. And Max Kellerman, you need to be fired. I understand you have a job to do. I understand, like, this is a job and you're under pressure and they're making you do these things. I understand that you have a job to do, but to do that, I would rather walk away. I'll be looking for something else. I'm quite sure they'll find a seat for you, Max, at Showtime or somewhere else. But I know your contract is probably really large and you don't want to walk away from the millions. So you're going to play ball. But if my legacy and name and stamp is on there from day one, I'm like, look, man, I'm not playing ball. I'm sorry, I'll go somewhere else, but I'm not finna do this. You're not gonna have my face and voice out there saying this. That can't happen. That won't happen for no dollar. You know why? Because your integrity and your word is everything. And for everything you say, you can't be saying stuff you don't really mean and feel. And that's the difference between me and everybody else out there. I tell people the truth. I tell you exactly how I feel about the situation. Period. It's the truth. I never fake liked anybody. I can't fake like somebody. That don't sit well with me, and I wouldn't know how to hide that. I don't have the poker face when it comes to hiding for something like that. If I don't like you, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna know I don't like you. Cause there's no way around that. There's something you've done to make me feel uncomfortable even being around you in the presence of me. So that's just the way I read things. And this decision tonight, to see people rave about such a boring, ridiculous slug fight. It was like a barroom fight. It was just terrible. Terrible. I'm just done with it, man. I'm through. Shouts out to Paulie Malignaggi and Showtime Boxing, showing them once again how commentary is done and the way it should be. And where is Manny Pacquiao's surgery scar? His massively injured rotator cuff. Oh my God, his rotator cuff is totally it's massively repair job on his shoulders. It's ridiculous, man. If you listen to that commentary and you think that was great commentary work, then you're definitely in a cloud where your head is. And people was like, well, the commentary didn't win the fight, and neither did Manny. The fight was about a draw. 113, 113, I think is exactly how I scored it. So without the slip that they called a knockdown, Tim Bradley wins the fight. Even with the other knockdown that happened in the 9th round. And some stupid person said, man, look at Bradley though. He rolled on his neck. I was like, I can't deal with a person like that. See, a person that's stupid, you don't understand. No matter if he rolled on his hand or back or neck, it's still a 10-8 round. See, I'm scoring the fight. I'm not scoring emotions. So the fight was 113, 113, I believe I had down. And that was a draw. I knew he was going to get screwed, but because HBO was letting you know we finna screw Tim Bradley from the way they introduced Manny Pacquiao. It was just horrifying for a guy with 6 losses and 2 draws, one of the greatest fighters ever to put on gloves. It's like, are you serious? Come on, man. Let's be honest here. He wasn't even the best featherweight of all times. He's nothing. He's nothing but a one-punch bum. A bum. He can't even jab. Eric Morales would have beat him if he was and could make the weight. He beat him the first time. He just couldn't make the weight anymore. Never fought any of the great champions there. Never fought any of them. Zaire Raheem, Mark Too Sharp Johnson, never fought any of them. They would have beat him. Man, he's a bum, and y'all let him get away with all this nonsense. It's unbelievable. I just can't believe it, but I hope he's retired. I do. I don't even know. I know he's not because he's too stupid to retire. He's gonna be broke in like 2 days. He'll be right back. You think I can get another fight? I want to probably do 1, 2 more fight, and so I could buy a new house. This fool will make 25 million in a fight and sit there and buy a house for 24 million. It's a really stupid individual. Yeah, the house was 24 and I make 25, so I make enough to pay. So I do one more fight and I buy the house and I will I buy a car and then I do one more fight and then I quit. I'm done. I have no thank the people. Thank the people who keep paying money for Manny Pacquiao to go blow it. So, on that note, it's your boy Karceno. Please subscribe. As we'll be saying good riddance to Manny Pacquiao once and for all. Get out of my sport, you bum. Thank you.